up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Courtside with Ash. And guys, what a game. What a freaking game. I just actually got back from the game. So I have so much to say, but I'll start with the positive things. The atmosphere was amazing. I feel like that is what it's going to feel like in a playoff scenario if we are to play them this year. I don't know, the standings are moving up and down, but we got to be ready to play whoever we're going to play. But overall, that as a fan, being in that atmosphere, it was a fun game. You can't really ask for much more, overtime and all the things. So like I said, great atmosphere for a fan, but as a Dream fan, it stung because we lost, of course, and the way we lost was just so it's like it was right there. You know what I mean? It literally was like right there. And I think that was what hurt the most. And I think even with the players, you could kind of just tell like they knew they had it right there. And it just came out, just fell short. But I will say this is something that I took away from this game. Why I'm not getting too high or too low on this game is that we fought really hard, against this team. But one of the things that stood out to me, actually, there was a couple things that stood out to me. Number one, there was no Jordan Canada. You took that team, that Indiana team, to overtime without your starting point guard. That's impressive. That's number one. Number two, there was no Bree Jones. Bree Jones has yet to face the Indiana Fever this year. So she never faced them. And so we don't know what a Jordan Canada and Bree Jones Dream versus Indiana looks like. But we do know what we look like when Jordan Canada plays, and when Jordan Canada has played, we have been 2-1. These are the facts of what has happened this year. So that's that on that. Being able to push a team like Indiana, a playoff team like Indiana with such great players to the limit and push them, to overtime, really be in control of the game up until the fourth quarter. And we just come up short with just, not being able to finish our food at the end. I know that sucks, and that's super tough. And those, honestly, guys, these are some of the worst feeling losses ever, because it's like it was right there. It's like it was right there for the taking. It was right there. But we just fell short, like I said. And I know Angel Reese is probably beating herself up, but one of the things that I love about this team is that, as soon as Angel Reese missed the layup, and I think Nas got a chance at it and the time just ran out, and Angel Reese, you could just tell she was just so frustrated, and she had a lot of very frustrating misses in this game. But one of the things that I love about this team, and this is going to be something that is going to carry over when we actually go to the playoffs, is that when Angel needed someone to lift her up, when Angel needed that support that she always gives to everyone else, they were right by her side. And even in the post game, Alicia Gray mentioned that, she would trust Angel to make that shot 100 times out of 100, so they all trust each other in what they do. And sometimes you fall short, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. Sometimes things like that just happen, but it's about what you can do to overcome these types of things, and how do you use this energy in the next game that we play, in the next game, in the playoffs. Like, how do we fuel these adverse situations and make it work for us down the road? That's what I want to know, and that's what inspires me, is when I see them surrounding her and they're like, it's all right. And as a fan, that's how I feel too. Like, it's all right, because you gave it everything you had. We know if you couldn't make the shot, you would have made it, but it didn't work out that way. But it's okay. It's okay. And she does the same thing for them when things don't go their way. When Ryan was going through that tough stretch, who was the one over there like, hey, no, you got this. And now you see Ryan starting to put things together a little bit more. When Alicia's not having the best night, her teammates come. So I love the fact that this Dream Team, they have a chemistry to where they're going to, make sure they continue to uplift each other and remind each other of their greatness. And I think that's going to really pay off in the long run for us. Another thing that I really, really was proud of was our bench. I was actually really proud of our bench. Borlase came in and gave us some really good minutes. 10 points. Ocat came in and gave us 8 points, and then Pow Pow came in and gave us 3. You know, Pow Pow, you can kind of tell she's still trying to feel her way out a little bit. I think she hesitated a little bit on some of those shots that we know she's just used to taking in rhythm. But we could just blame that on her not playing for the last few games. But I'm really proud of how our bench played. You know, they stepped up and gave us 21 points. You know, getting 21 points off your bench and them helping to contribute to us almost being able to pull that game off without 2 of our key players, I think that says a lot. I think it says a lot about our next man up mentality. And of course, Jordan Canada, we know how important she is to this team. We know how important Jordan Canada is. We know what she brings. And honestly, who knows if we had Jordan Canada, would we have won, and how much we could have even won by. But because she wasn't there, we had the next man up mentality. And I'm very proud of the people who came in and stepped up and did what they needed to do. You know, I think this game really just came down to just like little minor things, you know, and that's why I say every possession counts. You know, when you're playing in these types of games, every possession counts. So those little turnovers, those, you know, there were sometimes we were forcing the ball in the paint and they would pick it off and go the other way, or, those second chance opportunities that they got. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities, second chance opportunities that they were able to get putbacks on because we just didn't box out. So not boxing out, turning the ball over, and then on top of that, us missing bunnies, you know. Like, I'm not talking about missing threes and contested shots. I'm talking about missing layups. You know, there was wide open layups that we missed. So we have to go back and assess all of those little things and say, okay, how can we cut back on just the little things? Because you're going to have some things that pop up, but really at this point in the game, at this point in the season, it's about who can make the least amount of mistakes and who can do the most things right, who can execute the best and who can make the least amount of mistakes. You know, like who can make their layups, who can make their free throws, who can turn the ball over the least, you know, who can box out and limit second chance opportunities for the other team. Those are the little things that add up that are going to make your team tough to beat. And those are the things that we have to do a better job of if we're going to try to win these close games, because these games are not going to get any easier. Even the games that are against teams who are not currently in the playoff picture, they're not getting any easier. We have to come out every day, like I said, to like take the opponent's head off. You know what I mean? Like, that's our mentality. We have to come out and be aggressive. I liked our effort tonight. I liked our energy tonight. I thought what we did, you know, we did well. You know, I thought that, like I said, there was like small things that we were missing and, you know, kind of forcing the ball. Another thing that I didn't like was just, it was a lot of standing around and we started getting into this one-on-one thing. Now, for me, I wonder how much of that was fatigue. You know, I looked and some of our starters played like 40 something minutes, you know, and that's a lot of minutes to be playing, you know. So like how much fatigue was coming in with some of our starters. I wonder if that had anything to do with the fourth quarter, because really most of the game we were playing the way we want to play, but the fourth quarter, they got us, you know, they got us in that fourth quarter. I think we went into the fourth quarter with an 8-point lead. And so instead of building on that lead, we lost the lead, end up tying and having to go to overtime. And I did not want to go to overtime. I didn't want to go to overtime with them because I felt like with our starters having to play so many minutes, you don't have Jordan Canada. Like, you want to get out of that gym with a dub as quick as possible. And we had a chance. You know, we can't say we didn't have a chance, you know. And at the end of the day, that's all you want is a chance to win the game. And we competed with this team, like I said, down 2 key players. So for me, I'm proud of that. I'm super proud of that. And I hope Jordan and Bree get back soon and healthy so that we can see what it looks like to compete with a full roster against a playoff team like that. I'm hoping Jordan will be available against the Aces, because we're definitely going to need her versus the Aces. That's another tough game we have. But yeah, there was a lot of stagnant things going on. But like I said, I wonder how much of that was just fatigue. And then also in the fourth quarter, I felt like we were playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Like, I saw sometimes it's almost like we're dribbling the air out the basketball and then, you know, we're trying to hurry up and make a play at the end or something like that. But it's like, are y'all trying to it's like, were we trying to dribble the clock, you know, like run the shot clock down? And I'm like, we can't run the shot clock down. The game is too close. But it's like we're trying to hold on to this lead instead of adding to the lead and keeping your foot on the next. And that's what I mean by staying aggressive. Like, I feel like we lost our aggression in that fourth quarter. We were settling a lot, you know, a lot of ill-advised shots and things that we were taking. So I think we just kind of were out of character. You know, even Carl said that we know that we're a good fourth quarter team, but this was not our best fourth quarter. A lot of ill-advised shots, a lot of missed layups, turnovers, things that we usually do a better job of in the fourth. So tough loss, guys. Let's look at the stats briefly, and then let's move on to the next game because we got a tough little stretch coming up. But let's see. Yeah, man, tough. That's tough. So stats wise, we have 4 people in double figures, not bad at all. Alicia Gray, 32 points. Borlase had 10 points. Ryan Howard ended with 17. Angel Reese ended with 15 points and 14 rebounds and 6 assists. So Angel Reese still contributed in a mighty, mighty way. Like I said, I know there's some shots that she wished she had back. But to be honest, guys, we really didn't shoot well from the field. If I'm looking and I'm being honest, Ryan, 4 of 13, very poor and inefficient shooting night for her. Naz Hillman, 3 of 10, 30% from the field. Sherrod was 0 for 2. Angel was 5 of 16. Ocott was 3 of 4, so that was a bright spot. Pow was 1 for 6. Borlase was 2 for 6. Alicia Gray was 11 for 24. So as a whole, as a unit, we did not shoot well from the field. But despite all of that, we still gave ourselves a chance to win. So yeah, we missed a lot of easy shots that we usually make. And you know, we're just gonna have to throw that one away. And I think 9 times out of 10 we make those shots that we're supposed to make. And yeah. Game ball goes to Alicia Gray. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Great game for her. 4 of 7 from 3 and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. So she gave everything she had. I felt like she really tried to put the team on her back tonight. She shot 45% from the field. Ocott shot 75% from the field, but everyone else shot around 30%. And so that's not going to really cut it when you're trying to beat a Fever team who also puts up a lot of points. But yeah, game ball to Alicia Gray. And yeah, we just got to be better. You know, it just comes down to that. We just got to be better. We got to make our shots. We got to limit those turnovers. We got to box out. It's the little things. And at this point in the season and moving forward, whoever does the little things well is going to give themselves the best chance to win moving forward. And so the thing that we have to keep in mind is, how do we clean up the little things? You know, how do we clean up the boxing out? How do we clean up the turnovers? How do we clean up the, you know, just missed bunny shots? You know, those are the types of things that we have to clean up, you know, in order to win. Because sometimes, as we see, it could be the difference between a win or a loss. And then you'll beat yourself up the whole night just trying to, you know, figure out one play when really it was a contribution of many little things that added up and contributed to the outcome that we unfortunately had today. So, but yeah, on another note, guys, like I told you guys, I was at the game. I got an opportunity to talk to the coach. So I am going to add that into the end of this video. I want you guys to see the question that I asked. Basically, you know, I asked him about the team's ability to respond and how he felt about his team's ability to respond to challenging situations. But you guys, I'm going to show you guys that at the end of this video and let you guys hear his response. And yeah, on to the next one, guys. On to the next game. Our next game is on the road at Vegas, and that is going to be tough. But I do think we can we gotta come out and we gotta be aggressive. We gotta be aggressive and we gotta come out and really redeem ourselves from the last time we played them. You know what I mean? Like, we cannot come out playing how we played the last time we played them. We have to give ourselves a chance and play with high energy, come out playing aggressively on offense and defense. And like I said, hopefully Jordan is back. We're going to need her to play in that game, hopefully. But if not, next man up, you know? So Tuesday is when we play the Aces at 9 p.m. And then Thursday, we play the Sparks at 10 p.m. And then Saturday, we play the Mercury. Oh my goodness, we have a... And then Monday, we play the Sparks. So we have a 4-game road stretch. And our last road stretch wasn't the best, but this is, you know, a new road stretch. So we're starting fresh, and hopefully this one we can come out on top. You know, we can't sleep on any of these teams. You know, I'm looking at the Sparks. We're saying we should win. We should be the favorites in those games, but we can't sleep on any team at this point in the season. Every win counts. Every loss counts. Everything counts from here on out. Everything that we do counts. Even the little things like diving on the floor for loose balls. These are the types of things that you want to be doing at this point in the season, because those are things that are going to carry over into the playoffs. We need to be building habits that are going to carry over into the playoffs, positive habits, and getting rid of the habits that don't work for us. So whatever works for us, we need to take that. Whatever worked from today, take it, build on that, you know, create those positive habits heading into the next game. And anything that's not working, we got to find a way to cut down on it. You know, we just got to find a way to be better. That's just that on that. But shout out to MTMV. Make sure y'all go like, follow them as well. Had an opportunity to work with them today. And like I said, had a chance to ask coach a question and see some of the players and things like that. So that was a really cool experience. And I'm going to drop that video next. And what else I was going to say, and maybe some other little behind the scenes stuff I'll add to this video, or maybe another video. But that's all I got for you guys. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling, man. That was a tough loss, but at the end of the day, man, it's dream all day, every day. Don't ever get it twisted. We got another tough game on Tuesday. So how are you guys feeling about our chances heading into this road stretch versus the Aces? That's the first team that we have. So let me know how y'all are feeling about this game, our road stretch, whatever it is that y'all want to talk about. Let me know, and I'll try my best to respond. Thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, the everything. I appreciate it, and I try to respond as much as I can. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't even understand. That's why I keep doing this. I'm dead tired right now, but I'm going to keep doing this because I really appreciate everybody for the support, and I wouldn't and couldn't do this without you guys. So thank y'all so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hi, Coach. What have you learned about your team's ability to respond in difficult moments like this?
Uh, well, I think our team has responded really well. We've had some adversity this year, which is good. I mean, by adversity, like whether it be injuries or, uh, we had that losing streak in the early part of the season. Like, we've had to pull together through these situations. This is another example of, uh, everybody in the locker room. You could see the disappointment because they know how hard they work to put themselves in position to win, and we weren't able to close it out. But they'll do what they did before. They'll pull together and give us a chance to win moving forward. But we understand that when we play our best basketball, our best basketball is as good as anyone's. Now, can we consistently play it and be able to play it throughout an entire game? And I think we're capable of doing that. I think this was kind of a fourth quarter blip, considering how good we've been in the fourth quarter all year.